welcome to episode 54 of Squib Kick Radio. I am your host, as always, Elias Powell, and I am joined here with both Barry Burton and Riley Pollock. How are we doing on this rare Saturday episode, gentlemen?
I'm doing all right. I went to work this morning and forgot that I had switched my morning shift for a night shift today, so that was a nice early wake up and drive all the way to work. Just realized that I didn't work till 6 p.m. today, so I came home and slept for another 3 hours. But I'm ready to talk some football now.
Yeah, I had the office Christmas party last night. Tons of fun. Feeling just super today.
Excellent. Well, we are limping through on this Saturday episode here of Squib Kick Radio. We have a decent amount of news from the CFL, primarily just coaching changes and acquisitions. And then, of course, we have just all of our news and recaps of the NFL. I actually don't think we are doing recaps today because it is Saturday. And then we are going to chat a little bit about the college football playoffs, which is very exciting. But in typical Squib Kick Radio fashion, Riley, start us out with what's going on in the CFL.
Well, there's 3 new head coaches on 3 different teams since we've last spoken. Paul LaPolice, the former offensive coordinator of the Grey Cup champion Winnipeg Blue Bombers, is now the head coach with the Ottawa Red Blacks. So that's a pretty big move for Ottawa. They needed a good shake-up there, and I think he is a very deserving candidate as a head coach. So I'm assuming he will still have play-calling ability in Ottawa, but also has the head coach duty now there as well. Since we last spoke, Jason Moss, I know we talked about it last that he might be the new OC. He is officially the new offensive coordinator of the Durs. In what I think is a great move. He's done nothing but make quarterbacks better, so I think Cody Fajardo should be pretty stoked about that move. Ryan Dinwiddie, you may remember him as the Grey Cup loser in 2007 when Kevin Glenn broke his arm. His first ever start was in the Grey Cup for the Bombers when the Riders beat them. He was the QB coach in Calgary. He's now the head coach of the Toronto Argonauts. And Scott Milanovich used to be the head coach of the Toronto Argonauts, was the quarterback coach in Jacksonville this year. He comes back to the CFL to be the head coach of the Edmonton Eskimos, replacing Jason Moss. So a whole bunch of coaching changes there, boys. Ryan Dinwiddie making that move from QB coach to head coach, Toronto's got to see something from him there.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting jump up, but I think Toronto's just looking for anything, really.
Yeah, well, I think that they've seen how Calgary has been the epitome of success, really, until this season. And Ryan Dinwiddie's coached in the system under Dickinson for quite a while, so just a fresh start, and maybe trying to go the Calgary route with him being the new head coach. And, that's a big one. And Jason Moss, I know we talked about it a little bit, but how do you guys feel about him being the new OC?
Well,
I would say I'm all ears for it.
Yeah, I'm definitely listening intently to what he's going to do with the offense.
Nice, boys. A little bit more CFL news. Willie Jefferson went to a Dolphins tryout, and he did so good they cut the workout short because they had seen all that they needed to see. So that probably bodes well for his NFL chances, at least to go to camp with the Dolphins. And Rough Rider linebacker Derek Moncrief also tried out for the Dolphins. So they took Sam Aguavin last year, and he did well. He started a few games for the Dolphins and was really a core piece of the linebacking core. And now the Dolphins have taken on Willie Jefferson for a tryout and Derek Moncrief. So they're building an all-CFL team, hoping for that diamond in the rough like they had with Cam Wake those seasons ago.
Yeah, that was awesome. Cam was a monster when he was in the CFL.
But
I think Willie could do well in the NFL.
I think so too. I think he's built perfectly for the
monster.
NFL. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. Good luck to those guys. A whole bunch of tryouts really from CFL players, but there's some big news that the CFLPA is filing a grievance with the CFL because the CFL isn't releasing players to go to NFL workouts. Like, teams individually have to say, yeah, it's okay, we'll release you from your contract, but there isn't an official release agreement. So players like Trey Roberson, the stud corner for the Calgary Stampeders, hasn't been released by Calgary, so he's had a bunch of NFL workouts, but he can't go to them because he hasn't been released. So the CFLPA is filing a grievance trying to get players to be allowed to be released for NFL workouts. I would assume that they would have to sign some sort of agreement that if they don't make the NFL, that they would have to come back to that team. But the CFL's really not wanting players to go there and just sign practice roster agreements. So, I think there might be some middle ground where if they don't make a roster, they have to come back to the CFL. But it's an interesting development.
Yeah, it definitely is, and it's a slippery slope when you are, I guess, talking about an insuperior league in the CFL, and you have guys wanting to go up to the NFL. It's a slippery slope because realistically, I mean, there's a difference of a couple zeros, which will get real spicy real quick.
Yeah, agreed. I think players should be allowed to follow their dreams in the NFL personally, but at the same time, I think that they should have to sign some sort of thing that if they do get released from their contract, they have to come back to the team that released them.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But that's basically the CFL news. It was a pretty busy week in the off season this week.
Yeah, everyone just wants to get those coaching changes all wrapped up.
Yeah, there's a few OC and DC positions still available, so I'm wondering if Corey Chamberlain, who just got fired by the Argos, will find a defensive coordinator job somewhere again.
I think he probably will.
Yeah, well, he's a good defensive coordinator, and he brought the Riders to a Grey Cup, but after that Grey Cup, he was an awful head coach, and he was never a good head coach in Toronto either.
Yeah, I agree. All right, well, we have a little bit of college football to talk about as we approach the college football playoff starting on, the playoff itself starts on the 28th of December, so a few weeks away from that. But we had some conference championships games. The most notable, I would say, was not really most notable, obviously, the SEC championship game. Number 2 ranked LSU squaring off against number 4 ranked Georgia. And LSU just absolutely crushed them, 37-10.
Yeah.
That's a tough one for Georgia, and that is LSU's the team to beat. I don't think anyone is going to beat them.
Agreed. Yeah, they came in as the 2 seed, but after that performance against Georgia, they actually got moved to the 1 for the college football playoffs. So the voters...
The fact they came into it in the 2 spot still blows my mind.
Yeah. Yeah, Ohio State played in the Big Ten championship against Wisconsin, who was number 8. Ohio State came into the conference championship games as the number 1 seed, and they took care of Wisconsin 34-21. There's just something about Ohio State, I just don't know that they're the team. But they've played well all season. Obviously, they're undefeated, but I think LSU is the better team, and I'm glad they got that number 1 spot.
Yeah, I agree. I think LSU should have held on to the number 1 spot since they beat Alabama.
Agreed. ACC championship was nothing. Clemson hasn't played a good team all season long. They come in as the 3 seed, which is, I think, where they should be. They are undefeated. They did win last year, but they haven't had nearly the same schedule as LSU and Ohio State. Clemson crushed number 23 Virginia 62-17 in the conference championship game, so that just shows how terrible the ACC is right now.
Yeah, the ACC is just really bad, and it sucks for Clemson, but they haven't lost in a really long time. Yeah. So I'm not sleeping on them. In all honesty, I like Clemson over Ohio State.
Yeah, and it's not Clemson's fault. They book games 5 years in advance. You don't know where your team is going to be or the teams that you're booking out of conference games against are going to be. So it's tough to line up that schedule. It's easy for SEC teams because there's 6 good ones in the conference. But for Clemson to book those out of conference games, you don't really know who's going to be good 4 years from now,
Yeah, totally. And it's just sort of, that's just how college football works. But when Clemson, and it's not like Clemson's really had a hard schedule even last year either. So when it comes to the college playoff, they get it done, Yeah. They beat Alabama a few times. So yeah, it'll be It'll be interesting. Definitely not as strong of a Clemson squad as the last couple years, I would say for sure. But it's going to be exciting. I personally think LSU is going to just walk all over. Actually, you know what? Maybe not walk all over.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, Oklahoma. It'll probably be a pretty high scoring game.
Yeah, and that Big 12 championship game was probably the best one. You know, I mean, it was number 6 Oklahoma versus number 7 Baylor, and Oklahoma took them out 30-27 in overtime. So that's Jalen Hurts is the QB there in Oklahoma, correct?
Yeah.
Like that's pretty cool that he gets the snips, kind of, you know, and then goes to another team and makes the playoff when Bama doesn't.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
and that Georgia loss was huge for Oklahoma making it.
Yeah,
because they were sitting outside.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like, I'm wondering if Georgia had managed to beat LSU, LSU still might have been the 4 seed.
Oh yeah, there is. I think after they beat who was it? Maybe Auburn. There was no way LSU was going to be knocked out from the playoff,
so like
even if they lost.
If Georgia would have won, it probably would have went Ohio State 1, Clemson 2, Georgia 3, LSU 4.
Yeah, and last week, Oklahoma's ranked 6th, and they had to beat 7th ranked Baylor.
Yeah,
in the Big 12 championship. So,
yeah, it's going to be good, but yeah, I would agree with you. My prediction is Clemson, LSU in the final.
Yeah, I agree. Joe Burrow is going to win the Heisman.
Yeah, LSU pretty much swept the awards.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, their head coach, what is it, Ed Oregon?
Yeah,
he's hilarious. Like, that guy is the epitome of a Southern human being.
Yeah, man, he's just an awesome, just a humble Louisiana man coaching for LSU. I mean, he gets it done. It's nice to see. News out of the college world. Someone in the running for Heisman, Chase Young, says his current plan is to return to Ohio State next year.
Wow.
And not go into the NFL draft. So
that's crazy, because you never know what happens injury-wise.
Yeah, and potential number 1 overall draft pick.
Yeah, top 5 for sure. I mean, I don't know if that's smart.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Because all you can do is hurt your draft stock, right? By going back. There's no getting better than what he is.
Well, he could get better. I mean,
he could get better, but how much more is it going to improve his draft stock?
Well, maybe he was going for the Heisman, Rawls.
Maybe, yeah. Notable Heisman snub in the finalists was Chuba Hubbard, Sherwood Park, Alberta native. Basically led the NCAA Division I in rushing from start to finish. I thought he was going to be a finalist. I didn't think he was going to win, obviously. But it surprised me that he wasn't at least a finalist. He was probably that 5 spot. They only announced 4 finalists. He was probably in the 5 spot. But yeah, great season for him. One of the best as a Canadian in college football history.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm just trying to find this stat here on Jonathan Taylor's stats compared to Derrick Henry's when Derrick actually won the Heisman. Oh, here it is. I found it. So, rushing yards from Derrick Henry's Heisman season to Jonathan Taylor's season this year. Rushing yards. So Derrick Henry had 1,986, and Jonathan Taylor had 1,909. But here's where it gets a little interesting. The rushes are 339 rushes for Derrick Henry and 299 for Jonathan Taylor. Yeah. Derrick Henry averaged 5.9 rush yards per carry, where Jonathan Taylor averaged 6.4.
See, and then Chuba Hubbard, 309 attempts this year, 1,936 yards rushing, 21 touchdowns, 6.3 yards per carry.
Yeah, but then we get into Jonathan Taylor here. Well, I guess Derrick Henry first. His receiving yards that season were 97. Jonathan Taylor's were 209. And then total touchdowns, Derrick Henry had 23 and Jonathan Taylor had 26. So, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But it's Joe Burrow's world.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, that's all I have for college football.
Yeah, that was. It's going to be a fun bowl season, and I probably lose quite a bit of
Alabama
money.
plays Michigan and is just going to absolutely roast them because
Yeah.
Michigan's hot garbage.
Yeah, and UCF I think plays like or maybe it's Notre Dame. Someone's fans on Twitter were freaking out over not even playing a Power 5 conference. And
It's
like,
probably
well,
UCF then.
Yeah,
They seem to freak out when they...
Yeah, they are big freak outers.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, let's move on into the NFL. We're not going to do a week recap just because it's like we mentioned at the beginning of the show. It's Saturday.
Yeah.
So a quick recap on Thursday. The the Ravens versus the Jets. Lamar breaking Michael Vick's single season quarterback rushing record. So that's exciting. Congratulations, Lamar. Because that's huge.
Yeah, I mean, there's only been 2 quarterbacks like those two. And, I mean, Lamar did it on more attempts, but good on him. And he still got 2 weeks to go to pad his stats a little bit. Mike Vick did it in 2006. He had 1,039 to set the record, and then he went to jail for like 3 seasons after that. So what could have been?
Yep. What could have been. And I think Lamar has also solidified himself as the NFL's MVP this year.
Yeah,
so that
I'm willing to
over.
secede that to Harry, who was tooting that horn a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
it
it needed a Russell Wilson loss for sure to help that conversation out.
Yeah, now I think the gap's too big.
Yep, for sure. And the Ravens also clinched the AFC.
Yep. Well, they clinched their division. I don't think they've clinched the conference yet.
Yeah, right. They haven't clinched the conference. They
second-
probably will.
Yeah. I don't see them losing twice more.
No.
So, yeah, Ravens, team to beat.
The Ravens are the team to beat, for sure. Yeah, it's just a style of football that we're not used to seeing in the NFL.
Baltimore-San Fran would be a fun Super Bowl.
It would be a little rematch, Rawls.
Yeah. Was that the Superdome when the lights went out game?
Yeah, it's when Beyonce knocked the lights out.
And Baltimore had like a huge lead, and then Cap and the boys mounted a big comeback, but just couldn't quite get there.
Yep.
Good game.
Yeah, it was a good game.
That would be sick.
Right. Other news. I guess actually we'll transition speaking on Colin Kaepernick. I guess the NFL is moving on without Colin Kaepernick. I read an article earlier this morning that it's basically just done.
They were choked.
Done. Yep. They gave him a chance. He blew it. And so they're just, you know what? They don't want to hear about it anymore. They're not going to acknowledge it anymore. It's done. The Colin Kaepernick saga is over.
Yeah, he won't. I think it was just a publicity thing for the NFL in the first place, but it's super done now.
Yeah. So this will most likely be the last time we talk about this. I guess other news. Spygate round 2.
Yeah. Well, apparently Patriots staff members were caught recording the Cincinnati sideline during the Cincinnati and Cleveland game. And I think they were at practice or something too. That's what I can understand. And the NFL confiscated like a tape of like 5 straight minutes of a camera just sitting on the Cincinnati sideline. But like, why spy on Cincinnati?
Yeah, I don't know. This is sort of what I don't understand. Like, why spy on a team that has 1 win?
Yeah. I mean, are the Patriots that worried about losing their division to the Bills that they have to spy on the Bengals?
Yeah, that opportunity probably just like came to them, and they were just like, "Well, might as well."
Well, they said, I believe they came out with a statement that they were filming some sort of like scouting documentary or something. I can't remember what it was, but like they were basically just filming from the scouts box or something. I don't know. But yeah, basically the NFL confiscated all the tapes anyway. And I'm interested to see where this goes.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. I don't think really anything like maybe a couple fines. Well, I mean, they probably will get fined regardless, but I think that's where it goes.
Yeah.
And that's it. A lot of noise, for not much action. All right, Brett Maher. Cut. He's done. He sucks.
Yeah.
Off the Cowboys.
Yep, that's I think he's missed like 10 field goals and extra points or something in the past, 4 weeks? I thought I saw the stat. So, yeah, you got to go.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Tough for a former CFLer. You're always cheering for former CFLers to do well, but
Got
you
the
blew
yips.
it.
Yep, and he sucks. So do the Cowboys. So poor guy gets the rage of Jerry Jones just brought down on his head.
Yeah, you can't lose to Chicago when you're fighting for a division title.
Yeah.
Yep, on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
No, was it Thanksgiving?
No,
it wasn't. It was a
no.
week after. That was
Yeah.
last week. Yeah. But they lost on Thanksgiving as well to the Bills. So
Exactly. Yeah, they needed to do something, and apparently the kicker was the scapegoat.
all right. Well, Adam Thielen is going to be back after, I think, is it 3-week hiatus or
Something
is it
like
4?
that, yeah.
Yeah. Hamstring injury has kept him out for a considerable amount of time, so he will be returning. So that is good news for Vikings fans everywhere, as well as Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, the Vikings, they're not a bad football team, but I feel like they get underestimated because Kirk Cousins likes to lose big games.
I think their defense is a little overrated, and to be completely honest,
I mean, they should have one of the best offenses in the league when you think of the weapons that they have at their disposal.
they should have one of the best defenses in the league as well.
Yeah.
They should just be a
it's
good
not-
team.
But they're definitely a team that if you played in that wild card round, be like, damn it.
Yeah, you don't really want to play them for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, just continuing to rip through the news. Devontae Parker signs a 4-year extension, one singular extension.
Yeah, he's played well this year with a not so great Dolphins team. But I feel like he kind of rejuvenated his career this year, and I didn't think he was going to re-sign with the Dolphins, but now he's like wide receiver 1. They gave him wide receiver 1 money, and he's there for 4 more years.
Yeah,
That's what it
fair
takes.
enough.
Yeah, if you want to be a wide receiver 1 and get paid like it, go do it. I mean, that's what you want to see. Janoris Jenkins has been cut by the New York Football Giants.
Yeah, he called some guy
the R word.
Yeah, can't call a guy the R word on Twitter.
Nope, not in 2019. And he's stoked.
Yeah, he was fired up, and he wouldn't apologize for it, so they cut him. And then whoever controls the music at Giants practice played "Let It Go" as the first song of practice to say good riddance, basically.
Yeah.
So going well in Giants land.
Yeah, I mean, Janoris is he's gonna land on his feet. And he's a great football player.
Yeah.
So he just didn't feel like taking the flack because he was getting targeted personally, and he's actually been playing really well.
Yeah, he hasn't given up a touchdown. He gave up 3 touchdowns in week 1 and hasn't given one up since.
Yep. So sticking up for himself, maybe have not used the right words, but in all reality, you just don't want to engage with the fans in modern day society because you will lose.
There's no way I would have Twitter if I was a professional athlete.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I would totally have it because you could just make so much money from it. But yeah, I wouldn't use it.
I don't think you make that much money from Twitter as an athlete, in all honesty, Harry.
Well, whatever.
It's more of an Instagram world.
All social media is the same.
Yeah. I'd rock Instagram and a super private Facebook, but Twitter just seems like a cesspool of bad things. I love it because I'm not involved in any of the bad things and just get to sit back and eat my popcorn and read everything. But yeah, I don't know. As a professional athlete, it's mostly negative.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And Terrell Suggs has been released by the Cardinals. This really surprised me. I mean, I haven't really had my finger on the pulse on the Cardinals season, so I don't know if he's been playing lots, not playing lots, playing well, playing bad.
It'd be nice. He's 37 years old. He'll go on waivers.
He is old.
Or he'll go on waivers as of Monday.
Ravens
and it'd be cool, but the Ravens are the last waiver spot.
Yeah.
They get last pick on him because they're first in the league right now. So I wonder if another team won't scoop him for a playoff push. But if not, I don't see why the Ravens wouldn't just grab him. Yeah. I think they owe it to him, kind of,
For sure. Plus, he already knows their defense, so they could probably just throw him in that week.
Yeah. And just be a guy that, gives one of their players a blow every once in a while. Like, he's not going to start.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw the video after that Jets game that Lamar had a literal stack of jerseys that he was signing for everyone. That was wild. I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah,
like Lev got one, Robbie Anderson got one, and then some other guy who I can't see also got one.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. He's an idol. And I was listening to Jason Lackenfora. He's the NFL insider on Sportsnet 960. And he was saying, like, you don't see Lamar on billboards or in commercials. Like, the guy is strictly football. Like, just all about football. If you go to Baltimore, you won't see his face anywhere. Because he's just so focused on the game.
Yeah. And how about Mark Ingram? I think Mark Ingram is a national treasure. And I'm so glad. All of his interviews, man. Like, you just talk to him and he's just a team guy, puts it all on the field, loves his teammates, and I love that he has found such great success in Baltimore after taking the gamble and leaving one of the best offenses in the NFL to then go to the new best offense in the NFL. And I think there's a direct correlation to him leaving the Saints for sure.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't know. Latavius Murray's been playing awesome in...
Yeah, he's filled the Ingram role.
100%. He's done well. And Kamara's just a stud, so...
who just
Kamara
can't get the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, Kamara doesn't pale in comparison to Mark Ingram, in all honesty.
Yeah, if you got a choice and you had to take one, you're taking Kamara to build for a team.
Yeah, if you put Kamara on the Ravens offense, that would be the most disgusting read option on planet Earth.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
But we will probably never see it.
No, we won't. But I don't know. It's I think it's interesting to see where or like how well Mark Ingram's doing compared to Kamara. Kamara's not even top 20 in rushing yards in the NFL, so and Mark Ingram is 10th.
Well, the thing is that Kamara's always been like a primarily receiving back with the ability to run, and they are just not giving him the ball out of the backfield, like throwing wise, this season, even near as much as they were last season. Michael Thomas is getting basically every reception, so it's the offense is just different in New Orleans than it has been the past few seasons this year.
Yep.
Yeah, it has. All right. What else do we have for the news?
Well, we could just preview this week, I guess, hey?
Yeah, I guess we'll start with Green Bay and Chicago, since that's what I see first here. Green Bay's going to kick the shit out of Chicago. I don't even think it's going to be close. Chicago's D's good, but Aaron Rodgers is better.
Yeah, it's a big game for Chicago. They went into Dallas, took them out last week. Chicago's still battling for a playoff spot, so it's a big game for them. Green Bay could really use this win as well. So it could be a good game, but it could also be like the Raiders and Chiefs game where the Raiders could tie the Chiefs at the top of the division a couple weeks ago, was it?
Yep.
And the Chiefs just absolutely crushed them. So, but yeah, Green Bay is just one game up on Minnesota right now for the NFC North title. Yep. So they need this win.
They do, and I think they're going to grab it. Then we have Dallas versus the Rams. This is an interesting game. I think if Dallas shows up, they can beat the Rams. But they haven't. I think Dallas has given up. I think they have lost all hope in their coach. And, I don't know. I think.
And at the same time, like, if LA plays like they did against Seattle last week, they could destroy Dallas.
Yeah, for sure. You never really know who you're going to get with this Rams team.
Yeah. It's and LA is just a game back of Minnesota for that final wildcard spot, too. So that's another big one for them.
Yeah. And what else? I guess like Bills Steelers. This is kind of meh to me, in all honesty.
Well,
you have a piece on this?
The Steelers need this one big time.
Yeah.
They're tied with Tennessee for the last wildcard spot. Pittsburgh currently holds the tiebreaker, so they're in the last wildcard spot right now. They're a game back of Buffalo. Buffalo's 9-4, so I mean, if Buffalo wins this game and New England loses, then New England and Buffalo are tied for the top of the division with 2 games to go. So there's big implications.
There's
I just don't know how good of a
playoff
football game it's going to be.
Yeah, it's just not really going to be a barn burner. And then, what else we got?
Baker versus
Kyler.
Baker versus Kyler, Battle of the Heismans, yeah. Could be an awful football game.
Yeah, this is one of the games I'm not even really looking forward to, in all honesty.
I don't think Kyler Murray's like that great, honestly. But
I haven't been.
He's a rookie, Harry. So like, let's relax.
And he doesn't have like great receiving core.
Yeah.
I don't know, something about him. I just don't. I don't see.
Yeah,
it.
I'm not sold on him either.
I don't see it. Yeah.
To be honest,
he's a rookie mobile quarterback. You guys, he wasn't gonna come in and light the league up. He's like 5'10".
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't know if he was worth the first overall pick.
Yeah, I don't know either. But I think he's done better than a lot of people thought he would.
Fair enough.
He's just got no help, man.
He should have played baseball.
Yeah.
See some of the contracts these guys are signing in free agency this week? Holy shit.
Yeah. Some pretty huge baseball contracts.
Plus, it's baseball, so like you can play it forever and you won't get hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you have like 9 Tommy John surgeries.
True. But yeah, I think that's everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to touch on AB being a psycho real quick. He's gone off all over Twitter again and Instagram this week. He basically called the league racists for holding him out of the league without any charges being against him. And then like today, he made some post to some dude telling him to come get his girl off his property, or come get his daughter off his property because she's called the cops on him like 3 times. I don't know. It was, man, that guy's got such bad CTE and possibly bipolar disorder. Like, he needs serious help.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had a 1.5 minute long, I think, Instagram video when he went live saying, what is he saying? Call God? Or like ask God? Or something like that? The goat? I don't know. I can't remember. But it's weird. He just kept saying like the same like 3 words over and over again for a 1.5 minutes. So that's weird.
Yeah, the guy needs, like, psychiatric help. Full like, it's not even funny at this point. Like, the guy needs help.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, that's it for the news and our previews. Let's do some picks.
All right. I will run us through last week's. I am the champion of last week. I went 3-1. My only loss being San Fran plus 2.5 versus New Orleans. I believe they only won by 2. So that's sad, because me and Harry had that game. I would have been perfect if San Fran would have just got 1 more point. Oh, wait. Hold up a second here.
Didn't they?
Guy needs to do some thinking.
Didn't they?
San Fran won by 2, and I had them plus 2.5.
Yeah.
So that means that I won.
That also means...
And Harry won, too. So I went 4-0 in my picks last week, boys, to take me to 29-27 on the season. And that's pretty cool because I'm only 4 games back of Harry now. And that makes me pretty happy. So, and I'm a game and a half up on Eli now. So I went San Fran plus 2.5 versus New Orleans, that one. Baltimore minus 6 versus Buffalo, that one. Cincy was plus 8.5. They took on Cleveland and only lost by 8. So that one won. And Pittsburgh minus 3 versus Arizona won for a perfect 4-0 record for the first time this season.
Nice.
Yeah. I guess Harry went 3-1 now. And so that means that you are now 33-23 on the season. You had San Fran plus 2.5 versus New Orleans, that one. Baltimore minus 6 versus Buffalo won. Your only loss was Oakland plus 3 versus Tennessee because Oakland lost. And you took Atlanta minus 2.5 versus Carolina for the win. So no Falcons curse for Harry as he went 3-1.
Yeah, like those picks.
Yeah, good picks. Eli was the loser of the week 2-2, 500 still, nothing to be too sad about. And you couldn't even watch the games really because you were too busy partying with your work.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't watch any football last week. It was a weekend of staff partying and endless amounts of beers.
You had Chicago +3 versus Dallas. That one won. That's a good pick there, Eli. Detroit +12.5 versus Minnesota somehow lost because
so
Minnesota
wow.
won by 13.
That's so pissed, man. Like,
you had Seattle +1 versus the Rams. The Rams won, so you lost. And Baltimore -6 versus Buffalo won. So all three of us took Baltimore -6 versus Buffalo and won. So that takes us to 2-4 on the season now when all three of us pick the same game. And that means, Eli, you're first on your picks in Week 15 at 27-28-1, a game and a half back behind me.
All right, well, I have Houston +3 versus Tennessee. I have Cleveland -3 versus Arizona. And Buffalo +1.5 against Pittsburgh. I can't believe Buffalo is not a favorite in this game, so I will take advantage of that. And Green Bay -4.5 against Chicago.
I like those picks. The Houston versus Tennessee one is interesting to me because Tennessee's played so well lately. But at the same time, I think Houston is underrated because you never know what team you're going to get. So +3, I would take that too. Good call.
Yep.
I guess I'm next. 29-27. Riley Pollock back over 500. I have Green Bay -4 versus Chicago as well. We're going to give you -4, Eli, because
I guess, we got our spreads wrong.
Bodog has -4.
When did you make these picks? It could have also just changed as well.
Just probably an hour and a half before we started.
Okay.
I have Seattle -6 versus Carolina. I mean, Carolina's been awful lately, so I think that's pretty much a gimme. I'm going to take Minnesota -1.5 versus the Chargers. I just think it's too big of a game for Minnesota to blow, even though, as I say that, Kirk Cousins will probably throw 4 interceptions. But I'm going to take Minnesota. And I'm going to take the Rams -1.5 versus Dallas because I really liked what I saw from the Rams last week and have really disliked what I've seen from Dallas the past few weeks.
Right on.
And Garrison, the champ so far. We have 12 games remaining. You're up 4 on me, up 5.5 on Eli. What do you got?
All right, I'm taking the Giants -3 versus Miami. I don't really know why I'm doing that. Miami sucks, but the Giants also suck, but that's just the way she goes. Houston +3 versus Tennessee. Like you said, Riley, it's going to be a sketchy one. Tennessee is playing good, but I just don't believe in the Fitzmagic or the Tannehill. No, I always say Fitzmagic, but I always mean Tannehill with Tennessee.
Yeah, it's equivalent to Fitzmagic's comeback,
Yeah. Yeah, there's some rationale there anyway. Philly -6 versus Washington. Washington is just dust. And Oakland -6.5 versus Jacksonville. I need a rebound homer pick here, and I think that Oakland should beat Jacksonville. Come on.
All right. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully all of your picks lose because I don't think we have overlapping ones, and all of mine win, and I can catch you this week.
Oh, yeah? Oh, that's too bad. Hopefully not.
Yeah, that's the predictions.
All right. And then before we do get out of here, a quick wrap-up, actually almost a wrap-up from our Squib Kick fantasy football season. We lost to Robbie, friend of the show and former co-host, a 120 to 111. So
you know what's crazy about that? That was the biggest discrepancy between scores out of all 4 of the semifinal games. 9.14 was the biggest gap. All 4 of the games were super tight last week.
Yep. And my personal favorite team, which is hilarious because I was in this, 306 Lit Cobras loses to Cortland in Session.
The 8 seed takes out the 1 seed.
8 seed. That's wild, personally. That is insane. 97 to 91. O. Henry beats Lucas's nice team, 109-105. And Brandon's team beats Andrew Cucked, 114-108. So, with that, we are now in the semifinals. So, we have Portland in session against O. Henry. O. Henry's currently up 14 points and is projected a 123.5 finish over Cortland Sutton's 118. And then in the other semifinal game, Robbie's team is just slated to absolutely crush Brandon. 121-100 is the projected on that. So Brandon needs some luck. But yeah, that's how we're looking for our fantasy football. We're out, so we can't not spend money on this. So we're buying someone a jersey, which sucks, but oh well. That's what we're going for.
Our jersey to Zach, who won our Survivor pool, should be in his mailbox, but he's out of town till Sunday, so we don't know. But according to my receipts, it has been dropped off to him.
Oh, stay tuned. All right. With that is everything we have for you guys this week. So, as always, follow us on the social medias at Squib Kick Radio. And thank you for listening, and we will talk to you guys next week.
Peace.
Bye.
I got you stuck off the realness. Think not this shit's too hot. Too hot. Too hot. Rock you in your face. Dab your brain with your nose bone. I'm a vampire walking on the surface of the sun.